drift away.
Alright guys, so in this video I'm basically explain how people who have halogen bulbs on the 350Z can upgrade from these projector hybrids that are like these. These are the projector hybrid housings, how you can upgrade from these up to the Bi-Xenon housings that became standard on the 06 and up 350Zs. So the reason I'm making this video is because people who have halogens, you can't just buy these housings. They're not plug and play, not for halogens. If you have factory HIDs, it's plug and play. But so halogens, the connection, it's a 6-pin connection, so it's not plug and play. So the Bi-Xenons require an 8-pin connection. So you can see here, I already taken the connector off of the projector hybrid housing. You can see I have 6 wires. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6. All right. So all this video is explaining is how to take these out of the connector, and then what wires on this housing go where into the connector. That way it just plugs right into the car. So something to note, since these housings right here, they're made for cars with HIDs. You can buy them and that's fine, but you're gonna have to make sure you just take note that since you have halogens, you don't have OEM ballasts, you don't have the D2S bulbs, you don't have the turn signal bulbs that are needed for this housing. So when you buy this housing, it's meant for people who have HIDs, so they can just transfer everything over. So coming from halogens, you don't have any of that stuff, so you're gonna have to source all that. I think on eBay I spent a total of, I think it was $550 for everything, including, so that was bulbs, the ballast, and the turn signals, and then that was including the housings as well. So just keep that in mind. I'll go ahead and I'll link everything in the description, so that way you can just look at it and see if you want to do it. But yeah, so just keep that in mind when you guys do this. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm gonna show you guys what I meant by this. So this is the Bi-Xenon housing, which came on the 06 and up. What I was talking about those connectors is this. So you can see right here that the let me get this focused. So this takes 8. This is an 8-pin connector, which is what, if you had a factory HID, this would just plug and play. But I had halogens, so there's 8 pins in there, right? And then this is the halogen model. Get this focused, see? And this is what I meant by the 6-pin. So you can see here it has only 3 terminals. So what you got to do is you got to take this off. It's really easy. You don't have to cut anything. You take this off and you put it over here. And I'll tell you what wires from this connector goes to which positions in here. But that's really all there is to it. It's you have to cut these. Well, I guess you could just cut these off if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that. It's really easy. I'll tell you guys how to depin and what position all of these wires will go in accordance to this to plug into the car. All right. All right, guys. So as you can see, I'm on the halogen housing. You can see because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terminals. This is a 6-pin connector. So I'm gonna show you guys how to take this apart. This doesn't really matter. I guess you could really just cut the wires if you wanted to, but I'm not gonna do that, just in case. But you have to get that orange piece right there. You have to get that out. So what I did to get this out, I got a paper clip. You just kind of force it into one of those holes in there. So you just kind of push it in there, like get it nice, and then you gotta pull it out. So let me see here. Try this again. Push. You see that? And it came right out. So take that off. And now you can see how each of the pins is held in place by like little clips. So what you gotta do is you gotta pull back each of those pins, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just gonna get this off real quick. See, I think to get this off, I just kind of like twisted it. See, it just comes right off. So you can see those pins that are holding it in place right there. So all you gotta do is pull them back. See that? See how it pulls back? And then, let me see here, I think it's not all the way. Alright, so, and that wire should just pop out, see? No cutting. Do that over and over again for all of them, so I'm going to show you. So I'm going to do that for the rest of these. Alright, so you can see I got them all out. All the wires are intact, so I'm gonna go ahead and tell you the pin number. So let me put this back in its spot. So it was in there like this, right? So if it was in there like that, so it's clipped on right here. So this would be 1. So this is where the connector, the connection on the car connects to. So this is where it clips onto, is this top piece. So this would be 1, pin 2, pin 3, pin 4, pin 5, pin 6, right? So always remember that. So these little 2 right here, this is the bottom of the connection. So just use that as a reference. This is the bottom, this is the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Okay, so now you got that 6-pin connector off of your halogen housings. So this is what you should have now. So now you have to figure out where all of these terminals on the 8-pin go in correspondence to this, right? So you can't just plug these in anywhere because you'll damage stuff. So it's actually for the first 3 on this 8-pin. So 1, 2, 3, they actually go in the same spot. So 1's gonna go 1, 2's gonna go 2, and then 3's gonna go 3. All right, so you have these 3 spots left. All right, so you have to figure out where these last 4 go. And so what I've been using, it obviously works. I showed you guys that one side's done already. So what I use is this forum. This guy, he actually did it on a car. So for the 4th spot on the 6-pin connector, that is actually pin 6 on the 8-pin connector. So that means that this basically means that, so this is pin 4 on the 6-pin, right? Here, let me get this focused here, actually. Alright, so this is the bottom. So 1 through 3 is already filled, right? So you have 4, 5, and then 6. So that basically means that pin 4 needs to have pin 6 of this terminal put in it. So that's this one right here. That goes here, right? And then it also says that for pin 5 on the 6-pin connector, it's actually pin 7 from the 8-pin needs to go there. So in this connector to this spot right here, it's actually this terminal that goes there, right? And then so you have one more spot left, and that's pin 6. And so for pin 6, you actually put pin 5 of the 8-pin connector in there. So pin 5 would actually go right here in pin 6. I know it sounds confusing, so I'm actually just gonna put this here for a second, let you guys read it so you know what I'm talking about. It's that middle paragraph right there. So 1 through the same color, they serve the same purpose on both harnesses. So he had to figure out which combos work for what. So you can see right here, he has it in parentheses. So pin 5 of the halogen is pin 7 of the HID, and then pin 6 of the halogen is pin 5 of the HID, and then pin 4 of the halogen connector is pin 6 of the HID connector. So that halogen connector is the 6-pin, and the HID connector is the 8-pin. All right. So take a screenshot or pause it and do what you need to do here. All right. All right. So as you can see here, I have pin 1 from the 8 connector into the pin 1 of the 6-pin. So remember, like I said, the first 3 do the same. So those don't need to be mixed up at all. So 1 here goes into 1 here. This is pin 1. And then pin 2 is going to go into pin 2 of 6-pin. So, and this one's going to go here. Right? So there's no mixing on those. So those go as said. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, and I'll stop at those last 3. That way I can walk through that with you guys. Alright, so I got the 3 pins into the corresponding spots, right? So the first 3 on the 8-pin are actually in the first 3 in the 6-pin. Okay, so for pin 4, which is on the 6, so that's this spot right here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's this one. It says for pin 4, pin 6 of the HID actually goes in there. So that would mean, so 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5. So this right here goes into the 4th spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out, and I'm gonna put it into pin 4. So, and I don't know if you guys, I'm pretty sure I explained this. So you pull this little piece back right here. You can see these little pieces right here, these little tabs. Those pull back, and then when you pull those back, you can pull the the terminals out. See how it goes forward and backwards? So pin 6 is this one right here on the 8 pin. So then I have to pull out pin 6 and put that in pin 4, which is this one right here. Right? You'll hear it click. So that's pin 4. And then for pin 5 you have to put pin 7 of the HID. So this is 4, 5, 6, and then this is the 7th one you have to put in. So this is going to go into the 5th spot of the 6 pin connector. So you take that out. Oh, I took out that one by accident. So this is pin 7. That goes inside pin 5. Get this untangled, it's kind of tangled up a little. Alright, so put that in. And again, you'll hear it click. Oh, this one didn't click, so that means it wasn't in there. It's not clicking. There it goes. So that one's in. So I have 5. I have one more spot left. And so that guide says pin 6. Oh my bad. Pin 6 of the 6-pin connector is actually going to take pin 5 of the HID connector. So that's this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out. Alright. You can get it. Struggling on this last one. No? And to be honest, guys, if you have the 6-pin, it doesn't really matter if you destroy this 8-pin connector, because you can't really use it anyways. So this is pin 5 off the 8, and it goes into pin 6. Alright, so there you go. You got all 6 pins filled. Now, I can't really just give you guys the colors, because depending on what headlights you get, this is a depot aftermarket, so this isn't an OEM Bi-Xenon housing. So the colors aren't going to be the same. So I can't just give you guys the color and say colors go where. You really have to kind of follow the video, because the colors aren't the same. So you're left with this, and this is the blue wire on mine at least. I don't know if you guys might have an extra. You might have 1 or 2 actually. This blue wire isn't going to be used. So I can just put that aside. I can put a connector on there, or some kind of a tape or a heat shrink, and that way that doesn't get some kind of charge, some kind of electrical charge to it. And that's it. So then you put this in its spot on the housing. Actually, before you put that in there, you actually have to put that orange piece back in. So this is that orange piece that we took out to access the terminals. So go ahead and pop that back in. I can get it back in there. Alright, so you just push it in. Alright, that's all there is to it. And then just put it back in its spot, and it's ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in, and I'm going to show you guys how it works. Alright guys, so now that you've done everything and you plugged everything back together, I went ahead and put everything back together, bumpers on and everything. As you can see, like I showed in the beginning of the video, everything works. So you got your headlight, you got the turn signal, and you got your LEDs. So I would recommend, before you put everything back together, that you check and make sure everything works. That way you don't have to take everything apart again to double check. If something's not working, it's going to be a pain in the ass to take everything back apart. You're going to get annoyed. I would just check before you put the bumper back on. But that's it, guys. So if you follow the guide, if you follow the video exactly, everything should work perfectly fine. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching.